All right, welcome back to Cinco Paus. Last time we almost died. I'm starting to feel the pressure to keep this alive a little bit. Yeah, and also, yeah. Let's try not to die this time, and also maybe try not to make it last 3 hours this time. All right. Uh, okay. Yeah. Also, we got the arm, and we got an upgrade for it. We got um I guess most importantly, maybe we turned down uh well, how do I put this? We were offered a good artifact, and we had to turn down a bad artifact, and we were offered a good upgrade, and we had to turn down a bad upgrade. So things are looking pretty good for the build so far. Um, and yeah, don't really want to use this right now. Um, Typically, I guess one thing I didn't talk about much when we got this is just, I guess, like what it's what it's really good for. Um, it nets you a lot of keys. Um, right now I could use it and unlock this for free. Um, and often you do want to use this in Zona 1, just because usually Zona 1 is the hardest. You're less likely to break out the treasure in Zona 1 than you are in later zonas when you know more about your wands. But and also, like, if I were at 4 keys right now, let's say, then I would definitely want to try to get to my arm quickly and use it if possible, so that I could have 5 keys for the full Jogo and check all the walls that I possibly can. But right now we're only at 1 key, and I don't. I mean, I guess there's an argument to be made that you could try to use this here and use the arm in Zona 1 to go ahead and get this key, because if I have a break wall somewhere on one of these wands, or some way of breaking the treasure out on one of these wands, then um, I'll be able to, maybe if I get up to 2 keys right here, if I get to up to 2 keys by using my arm here, then I might be able to get up to 5 keys before the end of the Jogo. And yeah, so I guess I probably do want to use. I've talked myself into wanting to use this um, in this room, but yeah, definitely better to wait until I've taken a damage. So don't love this corner that I'm in. It's, I guess, just the picture that I have in my head of what I can hope for right now is like, I shoot a wand at this ghost and hopefully it dies. Both of these lizards step down, so there's a lizard here and a lizard here, and I'm still here. And then I step right, and one of the lizards has to, like, go away. Either this lizard comes here, and so this lizard has to go back to here, or this lizard comes here, and this lizard has to go over here. So that buys me some time to shoot at this pillar and this lizard right here. But then, like, if I start shooting at this ghost and I don't kill it, I guess my backup plan is, like, this ghost is on me here, this lizard's on me here, and I back up into this corner to just have one enemy on me and then start firing. Kind of gross, but yeah, I don't really have a way of getting out of here, do I? Like, if I just start walking right, like, I've walked one. Well, first of all, part of the reason I immediately thought that firing a wand immediately would be good is because the parity's off with this ghost. So if I step to the right now, and the parity's off with these lizards as well. So, like, if I step to the right now, I'm going to want to fire a wand before just like walking into this ghost and taking damage. I'm not going to want to step right twice and take a damage to get on parity with the ghost. And I'm not going to want to step right and step up to get hit by these lizards. And I'm not going to get a better shot in those 2 turns that I just imagined. I'm not going to get a better shot than this one on this ghost right here because he's up against a wall. At least I don't know why. If there is something better about shooting it in a slightly different scenario, I mean, I guess arguably stepping right and then shooting up at this pillar, is better than just shooting right at the ghost right now. But I think especially since survival is a bit of an issue right now, the chance of a charge attack on this right wall, it becomes a little bit more valuable for me in this scenario, and maybe that helps push this shot over the over the limit to being better. Makes that better than shooting at the pillar. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, generally, I want to be like on the offense right now, and I want to be starting to clear out these enemies if I can, because I don't like being trapped down here in the corner. I would like to use my wands. I would like to get out of here with a couple wands left. I would like to clear these enemies, get down to 1 enemy maybe with a couple wands left, so I can do some better tests. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Not seeing anything better than that right now. Actually, I wanted to walk through just what it might look like if I walk to the right. So like if I did do 1 shot and then step to the right, I'm here, lizard here. I feel like the bad case is like this lizard ends up here, so this lizard would go here. So I'm here, ghost here, lizard here. I step right, so this ghost goes here, and this lizard probably goes here. Because the ghost and 2 lizards are on parity with me, or like, you know, they're gonna be adjacent to me when they're on me. Sometimes I say on parity to mean like these lizards are on parity with each other. I don't use that term consistently, but hopefully you can figure out. Hopefully you can get used to what I'm meaning when I say that. Usually when I say on parity, I think it just means the parity is good in this context. I think that might be the case. So anyway, the parity is good with this ghost and with these 2 lizards right now, because I can just walk them around. Like if they're all going to be like adjacent to me. They're wanting to be adjacent to me, and I can just kind of walk around a bunch. But like once I get to these shrimps, I mean, I'm not going to be able to walk around forever. And like, where would I even end up? Yeah, I don't know. I'm maybe if I weren't trying to really preserve this run, keep this run going, I would maybe I would try to walk out to here and shoot upward or something, but I don't know. That seems like I might even have 3 enemies on me right there, actually. Yeah, I think this feels like the safe thing to do, and so I'm going to do that. Is there a reason to not use wand 2 right now? I guess one thing that I always wonder about is it worth... One thing I probably need to think through more. Is it worth, like if I'm standing here and I'm shooting upward, is it better to use the wand in the column that I'm in just in case it has go through walls and wand refresh? Or is it better to use a different wand to like identify something on this one before I use it? It's just hard for me to think about that, but I'll just do what I normally do, which would be to use this wand, I think. Okay. So that's pretty much what we were hoping for. And yeah, now I wanted to step right, and I guess we're hoping that this lizard comes in here, because then the other lizard would be very far away from me. But if this lizard steps here, then we've only got a couple turns, and I might have to end up backing into the corner. Nice. Okay. And also, yeah, also now, because we have a lizard here instead of a lizard, where was it going to be? Here. If we get like a go through walls, then we could maybe be hitting it to the side or whatever. Yeah, I feel that it's pretty safe here to keep shooting. You know, the safe thing to do right now for sure is to just punch. You know, we could get out of here with just 2 damage in all likelihood, and then, you know, we heal one of those points of damage. But we're not gonna have a great opportunity to test on the chase frog here. I guess here's sorry, I'm a little bit congested. Here's something that I also need to think about more. It's very hard for me to figure out how to value like where the exit should go in Zona 5, because that determines where the entrance is and where the chase frogs are coming from in Zona 1. I feel that generally where this entrance is mostly matters because of where the chase frogs are coming from. It doesn't seem to matter that much. So I guess like often I would prefer it to be toward the bottom of the screen. I mean, in most zonas, I prefer the entrance to be not in a corner tile like this. But in Zona 1, it doesn't matter quite as much because there's so few walls in Zona 1 normally. So it's rare to be stuck deep in a corner. Although you could argue that it kind of happened here a little bit. We lost, you know, it would have been better for us if we were here. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But generally where it puts me doesn't matter that much, except that I don't really want to be near the top. I don't really want to spawn near the top because that makes it harder to test for wand refresh, because you have to go down, you have to move a lot before you can shoot upward. And in all likelihood, if you're spawning near the top, there's going to be a lot of enemies in your way down here before you can get, so it's going to be hard to get below those enemies and then shoot them up and then shoot up through those enemies and at the top without taking a bunch of damage. So yeah, I mean, so I definitely prefer, like, you know, somewhere in this area, spawning somewhere in this area. I wouldn't necessarily want to spawn up here in Zona 1, but aside from that, yeah, I guess then it's just bad for the frog to come out from, like, I guess it's bad for the frog to come out in a corner. I don't know. I find this hard to think about. Like here, I could stand here and test for corner treasure while shooting at the frog. I guess really what I want though is, like, I want to be able to test at the frog while testing wand refresh. So like I would like the frog to spawn like here maybe, and then walk out to here and I'm standing here. But then that only lets me test one wand before the frog gets to me. So I guess I feel like it's a pretty big trade-off between, like, either I spawn in a place where I'm likely to be able to test wand refresh on the enemies. So either I spawn down here and I'm likely to be able to test wand refresh on enemies, or I spawn up here, which means I'm likely to be able to test wand refresh on the frogs. So I guess maybe I should want to enter here, like, later in the run, where I'm probably going to be using the cape on enemies and testing wands on frogs. And earlier in the run, I should be wanting to enter Zona 1 toward the bottom. That seems, I don't know, that seems like a reasonable reasonable place to stop that line of inquiry right now. Anyway, yeah, I think this is reasonably safe. Tests a lot. Let's do it. Nice. Parody's a little bit awkward here. Wasn't really thinking ahead about this, but it is indeed awkward. Could fix the parody like this. One great thing about swap that I neglected to mention, because I mean, swap is just the fact that it helps for cape is enough to make this an essential upgrade. But swap is also good because especially if you have multiple swappable artifacts, you can kill turns without using anything. So like right now, I don't want to use this artifact, but I would love to kill a turn so that I could shoot at this lizard here, without like getting the shrimp on me yet, without having the shrimp on me yet. But so yeah, if I had another artifact, I could just swap to it, and that would be great right now. So that's a reason swap is good, but we don't get to see that yet because we do not have another artifact yet. Also, one thing that is not great about this build so far is you don't actually really want swap first. The order that you get the upgrades really matters a lot, and swap is mostly good once your build is kind of already once you have more of a build going on. Right now we would really like a key upgrade to get extra keys, like stuff that like is gonna accelerate the build. Like getting more keys right now gets us to more secret rooms faster, and keeps snowballing, starts to help our build snowball and come together more quickly. But what can you do? So yeah, thinking about just shooting this right now. Also thinking about stepping right and punching the shrimp, but that kind of seems bad. Like if I step right and punch the shrimp, then this lizard's on me here, and this other shrimp is here, and I'm taking a lot of damage probably. Could play this ultra safe, like back up into this corner if necessary. I guess one thing that's good about shooting a wand here is after I shoot this, if I step left, I can get the lizard and shrimp aligned for like a double hit while also testing a corner bounce, which would be cool. Oh, I made a mistake earlier. I even asked aloud which wand I should shoot here, didn't I? I think I did ask that question, and then I started thinking about something else instead of thinking about the question. But yeah, when I was the very first move of the Jogo, I shot this at the ghost who was here. I should have shot this wand, because if it had corner bounce, this would have gotten refreshed, and that would have been tragic if I missed out on the refresh because I just shot the wrong because I just picked the wrong wand. So yeah, didn't actually end up mattering, but that was definitely the better thing to do was shoot this one. Yeah, so I could like shoot this, get another pillar treasure test, get a side hit test, get a buried treasure, whatever. Explode, maybe explode would be nice here. And then step left and have lizard and then shrimp to like fire this wand at, while also getting this bounce and all that stuff. But it's also really good to shoot point blank at this lizard. Like, man, this is gonna not look great with the parody when I get up, if I end up in this corner and all that. I think I'm gonna do this. I don't know. That seems kind of silly. But I really want to shoot all my wands at enemies. But am I gonna get to shoot all my wands at enemies anyway? Like, I guess, like, do I expect that I'm gonna have to end up shooting at a frog or not? I don't know. I find this hard to. My thinking on this is not clear enough to explain. I feel. uh, okay, let's just rule out some options. I think stepping right and punching can be ruled out because, well, stepping right and punching. Lizard's on me. Another shrimp there. I would probably want to punch the lizard from there. Don't think I would want to step right and take a damage. You know, then I could maybe step right and hope for the 25% chance of the shrimp stepping there, but and blocking the lizard, you know. It's hard to know how much I should expect people to follow my rambles about what could possibly happen here. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I want to step right here. Don't think I want to shoot right here. So I think I want to either shoot here or use this. Wasting the heal is not great. Also, one thing about getting stuck in the corner and then just like I would be a little more hesitant to fire wands if I only have a couple wands left and I'm in this corner, because if one of them transforms, you know, if I get a transform and it makes two chickens, it's kind of just over. I'm kind of just screwed. So maybe that small chance of a disaster makes it worth setting this up to have more chances at kills immediately. I don't know if this thinking makes sense or not, but this is my intuition is that this is the right thing to do, and so I'm going to do it. Interesting. Okay, that is not something I not something I planned for at all. Okay. We can one thing we could do is step down. So this lizard has one tick of poison on it, so 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Tick number 2, tick number 3, tick number 4. I could have it right here and myself where I am right now, and I could shoot through it and get a good test on it while also hitting this pillar. And I think hitting a shrimp to the side, or no. Yeah, no, because it'll be here, I think. Anyway, testing on this pillar while not taking a damage because the poison is going to damage the lizard and like stun it or whatever. So that's one possibly good option. I could also step right, punch this first lizard, and hope that this other lizard walks into the middle, and I could then test for earthquake while shooting through this other lizard. But it might not step through the middle. It might want to keep going up, and then I would end up shooting at nothing, which would not be my preferred thing. And I really did get screwed in Jogo 2 last episode. I really did get screwed by enemies moving the wrong way. It was kind of absurd, actually. Yeah. So what else? I don't really have a good way of shooting at the ceiling yet. I will probably get a chance to do that with like my last wand, maybe. So yeah, I'm thinking about just like stepping down, punching the shrimp, and then stepping back up and shooting at this lizard and at this pillar. Could also maybe try to. Oh, I guess I might as well step right. Is that true? I was thinking like if I step right, then maybe this shrimp would get into line here, but I actually don't think that's true. Or no. Yeah, okay. I think I might as well step right because then this shrimp will be on me here. This shrimp will be here. I'm pretty sure that's guaranteed. But then when I punch this first shrimp, then there's a chance that this lizard steps back into the middle and I can test through the middle, test for the earthquake, hit the shrimp, hit this pillar, and test for forget. Yeah, these wands are looking good enough already that I think I would rather test for forget than for identify. It's really one or the other in Zona 1. Yeah, I don't know. I know I said something about this in one of the previous episodes about like whether when I prefer to prioritize identify versus forget, but I think it's actually just very situational. But yeah, one thing that it definitely depends on is how good my wands are so far. Like, is there a lot of stuff that I don't mind forgetting? Like, I would definitely not mind forgetting this. Wouldn't mind forgetting this. By the way, important to notice immediately that we have a way of getting keys, so that's great. Teleporting into the treasure. I mean, this is a combo that definitely does not work every time. There are some combos that are extremely reliable for netting keys, but this one requires the key to be. This one requires the locked treasure, to be like up against a wall. So, if it were locked somewhere in the middle of the room, this combo would not work to get it for us, because we would just teleport past it. Also, well, there is an exception. If when we haven't tested for this, we haven't tested for the wraparound spell. Wrap around the outside of the screen. So this could still have wraparound on it as well. And if that were the case, then if the treasure were here, we could stand right here and it would shoot this wand upward, and it would wrap us all the way around and put us in here. So that would be great. And of course this could still have grab on it. I think teleport and grab, I don't think those exclude each other in the wand, spell, the wand generation rules. Anyway, I don't know. What seems best to me right now is stepping right, punching, and then considering shooting through the shrimp if the shrimp steps left, but if it doesn't, then stepping back to the left and shooting through the lizard. So I'm going to do that instead of thinking an absurd amount. Okay. This seems right to me. I mean, so let's just talk about shooting the shrimp versus shooting a shrimp. I guess shooting this particular shrimp versus this particular lizard. Shooting this lizard right now doesn't test for poison because it's already got poison on it. Shooting the shrimp does test for poison, but this tests for lizard kill, which, and I'm not testing for the shrimp heal kill, shrimp cocktail, whatever it's called. I'm not testing for that here. So that's definitely a little bit worse. But we already have a lizard kill on one of our other wands, which makes an extra lizard kill not that valuable, especially right now when we don't know anything else about this wand. It might turn out that one of these wands has a lizard kill on it, but has nothing else good on it. And this wand has like a dupe, which we definitely would want to. I guess the dupe would have to be here, so that's very unlikely. But just imagine it has a dupe, then I probably wouldn't want to be. I would probably be saving that to do some duping. I probably wouldn't be shooting it at lizards unless they just happen to line up with whatever I want to dupe. But anyway, but yeah, from where I'm sitting right now, it certainly looks like we've got a nice lizard kill, and I don't really need to prioritize testing for that. So yeah, I'd rather test for the earthquake and this another poison maybe, and yeah, I don't know. Let's do that. Okay, surprising. So, man, we really are using all our wands to fight here. Is there something better to do? Like this is just awkward with the parody. I guess what I want to know is like, is there a way for me to just walk around? Well, yeah, I can just walk around and let this lizard die, and then shoot this ghost however I want to. So I think that's the thing to do. And how do I want to shoot this ghost? Or I guess is maybe theoretically, maybe I should be thinking about whether there's a way to somehow shoot the ghost and the lizard. Like, I guess it's possible that I step right here and then this ghost follows me here. This lizard takes its damage. But then I step right again. The lizard steps up first, and then the ghost also steps up, and then I can shoot both of them, and maybe that would be the thing to do. But I don't know if that's even better than just like get testing for wand refresh and corner bounce over here. I think I would rather stand here, shoot up at just a ghost, to get a wand refresh test in. Okay. I think I want to step right twice. It's hard to know how to manipulate the ghost movement, because what I want here is for the ghost to get on the opposite side of me so that it can be up in this corner while I'm standing right here. And it's hard to know, like, if I step down right now, it's 50-50 that the ghost goes here or here. Obviously, that would be great if it went right. I would go ahead and push it right, I think. Yeah, but there's just a lot of possibilities. And I kind of feel like stepping right twice right now is just the simplest thing. Like, it's got two 50-50 chances to step up. And then when I step down twice, it's got two 50-50 chances to step down. And ideally, it would take it on the first step. Then I could be testing for target as well, assuming it doesn't corner bounce. But with the chase frog coming at some point, I've also been advised I've been advised that I should be less hesitant to, or more willing to, count the turns for the first chase frog. But this is already a really long episode so far, and it's not super important right now, so I'm not going to do that right now. But I will try to do that in the future, because it does it does seem like I've gotten to the point where so, like, there was a moment in a previous episode where it like really mattered where it was when I was trying to dupe a key down here in Zona 2 while also like getting this treasure up here, maybe. It really mattered what the chase frog parody was going to be, and I was just like trying to think about all the possibilities of both branches instead of just knowing for sure by counting. And by the way, I'm not talking about counting as I'm playing, which is not really necessary. Just figuring out how to count after the fact by like knowing, okay, I was here, how many steps have I done? How many punches have I done? How many casts have I done? So like how many turns have passed and how many more turns do I have left? So I'll try to be more willing to do that in the future, but right now it's not that important, and this episode is already looking long. Could also just shoot this right now. That's a very simple thing to do. We get this, it's on a corpse, which is nice. We get the pillar treasure test again. We get an earthquake. Even if we kill this ghost, we get an earthquake, which is nice. Unless unless like we transform this into a lizard and then mirror kill and then lizard kill, then we won't get an earthquake test. But most likely we're getting earthquake test. I don't know. Maybe I was underestimating how good this is, or yeah, underestimating how good this is. Because like, if I'm stepping right now, I guess yeah. The problem with this is just parity. Like, it's just awkward. I'm probably taking 2 damage if this does nothing. Because if this does nothing, I'm taking a hit immediately, and then I'm off parity with the lizard because I didn't move here. And the lizard also didn't move. It took its damage. So then I have to step. And I can like step to the right and try to make the enemies move in a weird way where the lizard will die before it catches up to me or gets to me. But that seems not super likely. Is that true? I guess it's pretty likely that the lizard steps up before the ghost steps up, right? Or it's like 50-50? Like, if the lizard's here, the ghost is here, the lizard takes its damage, the ghost punches me, and then I just start walking right. One of these enemies is almost certainly going to step up. If they both step right twice, that's extraordinary. And I think it's actually more likely that the lizard steps up because it's got this ghost in the way. So I'm actually kind of liking this. It's also because I have a transform. The only like treasure related spell right now that I have discovered is transform, and another. If I were to discover Wand Refresh right now, like how much should I value the potential of discovering Wand Refresh right now versus the potential of discovering Pillar Treasure right now? I think I should value Pillar Treasure more than usual in that competition, because I have this transform and no other treasure spells. Because to discover a Wand Refresh right now would mean that I get extra transforms. But like, what if the next room has a gem in the cage, the treasure cage? Then, there's a key on the floor and there's a gem. Well, I want both of those items as they are. I don't want to transform either of those. I'm getting a lot more of. I'm potentially getting no value out of this transform without more treasures to spawn in. So I think I'm valuing the Pillar Treasure more. I don't know. It's time to make a move, so I'm shooting this. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay. So that is very good. And we're getting this test for Dorado here on this poison tick. So that's great. I don't think there's anything else to think about here. One thing I haven't mentioned in previous episodes is testing or just thinking about Dorado. So like when you have any good damage wand, any wand that does a lot of damage. So, I mean, Earthquake alone qualifies as a lot of damage, a potential high amount of damage. Whenever you have that, you hopefully I'm not the best at this, but hopefully I don't know what I'm saying. Ideally you want to think about Dorado, the possibility of Dorado being on it as soon as possible once you know that it does a lot of damage, and really prioritize, if this didn't kill anything in this room, for instance, we would really want to make sure we use it that same way in the next room use it in the next room in a way that would test for Dorado. I don't know why I had such a hard time saying that, but also I don't know why I'm saying it right now at all, because this killed a ghost in this room, so not an issue. This killed a lizard in this room, so not an issue. And this killed a ghost in this room, so not an issue. And this this killed a lizard. So we definitely don't have a Dorado right now. Why am I saying all these things that are making this episode longer when we're already 40 minutes in? I don't know. Okay, so let's remember how we did everything. So this got shot at the ghost, which was a throw, by the way. I should have used this wand, but then I wouldn't have discovered this great earthquake. This got shot point blank at a lizard up against a pillar. This got shot through a lizard. And I don't remember if it tested for a side hit. I don't think it did. But that was through a pillar, but we didn't test it for wraparound, which could matter. Nothing has been shot at items, by the way. How did I test this? This transformed a shrimp into a ghost, I remember, but where was that? Okay. Oh, that was up here. The shrimp was here. So we tested that for earthquake and we shot it at a shrimp. And it's also been tested for pillar. But, it's been tested. This can't have pillar treasure, I'm pretty sure, because it has transform, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. For some reason I'm doubting that. But it's been tested for break wall and through wall, which is important. And then this has been tested through a ghost, did nothing to the ghost, and then it earthquaked and also hit a pillar. Okay, well, let's keep it moving. Yikes. I mean, this isn't the end of the world, but not great either. Really wish I could just shoot. If only the through walls spell also let you poke your wand through a wall to cast it in this situation. Okay. Well, one good thing about this setup. Oh yeah. I did want to talk about this. Okay, this is another big topic to get into right now, but we're doing it. So it has been brought to my attention, something that I knew on an intuitive level, but hadn't really consciously thought about, and therefore hadn't really made any strategies around, or hadn't strategized around, which is that Zona 2, every Zona has different rules for how the layout of the room is generated. I wonder if there are different rules for how the enemies are placed, but that doesn't seem to be the case in my memory. If that is the case, I haven't noticed. But anyway, the walls are different. How the walls are generated is different every Zona. And Zona 2 has the rule for Zona 2, or at least the most obvious part of the algorithm, or whatever you want to call it, that generates the walls, is that there are way more vertical walls than horizontal walls in Zona 2. And you can very clearly see that here. And I think because of that, you should, if you can move the door, we couldn't here. We could still have a door move spell, but anyway, if you can move the door, you should maybe try to put it in one of these spots or one of these spots. It's much more likely than usual to be bad if you start on one of the left, either the left or right wall, because you could get stuck in just a big column. I guess it's especially bad if you're entering top left or top right. If you're entering one of these spots, just because, say you get stuck in a column there, maybe your way out is way down here. These are all walls. Then not only are you stuck here, but you're gonna have to fire some wands downward. It's not nearly as bad if you're down here and you've got a big column here. You're down here and you have to shoot some wands upward. At least then you're testing for wand refresh. Anyway, so I feel like I feel like the door, where the door goes matters much more exiting Zona 1, entering Zona 2 than any other time, which is kind of unfortunate because Zona 1 is the time when you're going to be firing your wands a lot without knowing what they do at all. Uh, so I feel like it's less realistic to like, yeah, you're not going to be able to like choose. You're not in Zona 1. You're very rarely like, oh yes, I know that this spell is going to move the door. Let's move the door to a good spot. Usually it's like, you're going to have to really think about the possibility. Like, this could have, if this does have move door on it, should that change how I want to use this wand, which maybe sometimes it would, but doesn't seem like that's going to be a common occurrence. So I'm not sure how much that's going to change anything about how I play, but that was a good thing that I learned recently from the Bro Games Discord. Shout outs, Bro Games Discord. All right, what are we doing here? I think I started to say, I don't remember if I finished saying this or not. Sometimes I start saying something and then I get excited about another point. But we've got a nice corner here. Nothing has been tested for corner treasure. So if we do have to fire some wands from here to the left, at least we're firing into a corner. Yeah, I mean, there are possibilities about which enemy is going to move here, how everything else is going to move, but I think there's no universe where I don't want to step down. There's no reason not to step down right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we can see what we got. Okay. I believe if I punch this shrimp, this lizard is guaranteed to step down, and this ghost has a 75% chance to step down, because if it moves first, it definitely steps down. This path up here is blocked no matter what this lizard does. I mean, this lizard is stepping down. So no matter what order this lizard goes in the move order, no matter where this lizard falls in the move order, this ghost is stepping down if it goes before this lizard. But if this ghost goes after this lizard, it's 50-50 of whether it goes here or here, I think. But if I punch this shrimp right now, it's a pretty good chance that we've got two enemies aligned here. I guess I could be thinking about like well, I'm thinking about some weird play where I like punch this shrimp and then shoot the lizard with this wand and then try to get on the ghost. Well, I guess I'm taking 2 damage then. Like if I punch and then shoot, then lizard, then I kind of need to shoot again, right? I kind of want to shoot again at least because there's a lizard off parity with me here and probably a ghost off parity with me here. And so I don't really want to step in that case. I guess maybe I could use that, transform the ghost and try to let... Ooh, that's actually interesting. Okay, let's say the ghost is here, the lizard is here, right? I could transform this ghost, and then assuming I don't get stuck on the left wall, which is a possibility, but assuming that doesn't happen, I can, transform this ghost. It will punch this lizard when it steps down. I transform this ghost, this lizard steps down, and this ghost punches it because friends always move after enemies. And so then I can just punch this lizard down, and that would be nice. I'm just trying to preserve as many wands as possible. I mean, I guess maybe it's not even that valuable to preserve a bunch of wands here. Like what do I want to test these wands on? I want to test primarily for like, well, yeah, I want to go ahead and get my buried treasure tests in because I've got a lot of damage here already. And look, Zona 3 is unlikely to be is at least less likely than usual to be problematic because I'm entering in the middle here. I'm entering in the middle row, so I can maybe get this off immediately in zone of 3. So yeah, I'm also at full health. So like I'm just not worried about survival right now. So maybe I should be trying to get all my buried treasure tests in, and while also getting corner treasure tests in right now. Maybe that should be like my main thing in this zona. Could also do buried treasure and wander fresh, because only this has been tested for wander fresh. Is that right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure how to. Yeah, I think actually that might be the thing to do. Because like this is also testing for I could also test for corner bounce. Like I could shoot up here and test for wander fresh, buried treasure, corner bounce, and also like wrap around maybe if for the ones that haven't already been tested for wrap around, which is actually most of them. All of them. It's actually all of them. Interesting. Yeah, so that seems really good. Try to save as many wands as possible to just shoot up in this corner. Obviously I want to use this. The one way that I have a chance I have a chance to net a key here with this wand is by standing here and shooting to the left, because these walls are kind of in annoying spots to prevent me doing it other ways. If this has a wraparound, then I will not get it anyway. I will have had no shot of getting it with this wand in this room layout. But then at least, it's going to test for corner treasure there, which is nice if in that case. But yeah, definitely want to use that wand in that way. And yeah, what I was saying over here, I think makes sense. But yeah, I guess how many? Look, I'm punching this shrimp, so now we can think from here. Yeah, I think using these two this way feels good, and then I'll use I guess this. Wait, this doesn't need to be tested for. Oh wait, no, this definitely needs to be tested for refresh. For some reason, I was thinking this because this was on here, it didn't need to be tested for wand refresh, but that makes it. This makes it a wand refresh much. This does not rule out wand refresh, and it makes wand refresh much more valuable because it combos with it so well. Yeah, so that needs to be tested for wand refresh, but this can't have buried treasure, so maybe I try to find a way to like shoot my ghost friend while also testing for wand refresh with this wand. That kind of seems good. Then this is also testing for like, if it transforms into a chicken, it's testing for chicken kill. If it transforms into a frog, it tests for frog kill. If it transforms into a lizard, it tests for lizard kill. So that's kind of cool. And also, of course, if it turns into a chicken, I'm getting treasure from that chicken. And like I said, we are in this scenario that I imagined, by the way, where there's a gem locked here, and so I want both of these treasures as they are. I don't want to transform something else. Or I don't want to transform these two things. Talking is hard. I don't know. This seems fine. I'm testing for corner treasure. I am setting up for this cool thing I'm going to do with this ghost. I don't know. I could also think about just tanking some damage. Tanking some damage so that, like, maybe I do this here. No, I'm going to take some damage from this guy anyway. I don't know. I'm going with this. Oh, man. Really liked my plan there. Do I just get my buried treasure and corner treasure tests here. This also gives me a side hit test, which is nice. Could also get stuck, but maybe not the end of the world if I just have to do this. I don't like that. Could step left here. Shoot this lizard. Well, step left and then shoot this up. That would give me my wand refresh test while also maybe doing something good to that lizard. I could go ahead and I'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. And then maybe this lizard will be here. And I will poison it while hopefully getting this treasure. And then maybe the parity works out nicely. Yeah, I should I should be able to. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the lizards are like both on me and then they're both off of me, and then I punch. This one takes one from the one hit from the poison, and then it's back on parity with me, and I can punch it, and then this lizard is going to be back on parity with me, still at full health, and I'm at 4 health, I think. And then I think what I will do is, I don't know, 4 health is still a lot of health. I could shoot this up at the lizard. I don't know. I could also save this in case one of these other wands gives me treasure. If one of these other wands spawns treasure somehow, I probably want to polymorph that treasure, right? And then maybe I can like test for a heal at the same time on this wand or something like that. I don't know. Heal is not that valuable right now. Probably not even worth thinking about that. But I don't know. This seems smart. Also, like this wand being used, I'll be able to test this for wand refresh while also using my earthquake. But I also might just want to punch this other lizard and then get a bunch of buried treasure tests in. Like it's only going to take me down to 3 health, right? I don't know. We got unlucky. So, do we consider stepping left here? What's the worst thing that can happen if I step left here? Because, if I step left here, there's a possibility that this lizard moves back this way. Then I step up and it's here, and then this lizard could be here, and then I could step right and be golden with my original plan. But the bad thing is, well, is it that bad? Like, say the bad thing happens, I step left, this lizard steps down, then I step up. We've got like a lizard here and a lizard here. Well, then I could step up and like buy some time to punch. Not that much time. Well, yeah. Wait, no. Yeah, then I could punch for free. But like, I guess the worst thing that can happen is I step left, this lizard does step left, but then when I step up, this lizard blocks me here, because then I have to step down, and most likely they'll be here and here, and then I'll have to step into the corner, and then I kind of just end up punching no matter what. But am I okay with just going down to 2 health here no matter what, so that I can use all these wands to test for wand refresh, buried treasure? At this point, I'm starting to think the heal is much more valuable. So like, if there were like a corner treasure, if there were a corner like at the bottom of the screen somewhere, I would maybe want to maybe switch from prioritizing wand refresh to prioritizing corner treasure, because it can also heal me. But I don't know, might just be fine with taking 2 extra damage. I'm not seeing, I don't know, I haven't thought about it enough yet, I think. Like, Like, what if I just step up and then teleport? I'm off parity. So I step up, teleport left. There's a lizard. There's a lizard here, one step away from me, and there's a lizard here. Okay, so then let's say I step up. Maybe I can like. Maybe this lizard moves back here, and I can like blow him up while also testing for Wand Refresh and Buried Treasure. Oh, and hit through walls. That would be nice if he stepped left there, but he also might step that way. But I guess in that case, I could just shoot this down at this other lizard, and that's not the end of the world. It's not great, because this has already been tested for corner bounce in the first zona. So I'm really only testing for, like, lizard kill. But, you know, it kills the lizard and saves my health. I guess maybe if I get in that situation, let's see. If this lizard moves, let's see, I teleport and then I walk. So this lizard goes up and then it goes, let's say it goes up again. So I'm here, this lizard's here. I could just shoot this up anyway, get my Buried Treasure test in and my Wand Refresh test in. And then this lizard is on me, right? Yeah, it's on me. So I shot it up, this lizard steps here. I punch twice. And then this, yeah, okay. So I do have time to just punch in that scenario anyway. I don't know. This seems kind of good to me. It's not great, but I'm going to go with it. What if I get stuck here? I didn't think about that. Well. Oh, this is great though. This is great though. I mean, I really failed to realize that we were getting our fifth gem here, which actually matters a lot for the immediate strategy here. So this is great that we're getting an artifact right now, so that I can use it to get unstuck. Although maybe I want to use a wand anyway. But it's not great that I have been offered two lower tier artifacts against each other. So I'm gonna have to pick an artifact. You know, not getting the ideal build here. I mean, it's also just bad that we haven't been offered cape yet. You really want cape as soon as possible. That makes such a massive difference for score. But I do strongly prefer, maybe not strongly, but I do prefer Haru specs to Frog Statue. But I think this is maybe up for debate. Neither of these really helps with artifact ordering for a cape build. You know, you can get an upgrade on this that makes it appear first every time, which is really good if you are new to the game. But if you're playing for score and building around the cape, it's really not that good. You would rather have the cape first, I think. So yeah, so neither of these really helps with that. Frog Friend, it can get you dupes. It can get you dupes on items, because if you take the upgrade that duplicates the frog when it makes it your friend, it will also duplicate any item on that same space that the frog is on. But it kind of requires some. It's not like you get that for free every Jogo. Like, sometimes you get to your frog, you get to this artifact, and you're in a room where you need to use it. Like, especially in a cape build, you kind of need to use your other artifacts immediately. Like, this matters a lot for mushrooms, for example. Like, with the mushrooms, if you have some other kind of, if you have a non-cape build, it's often optimal to not use any artifacts. Like, If you have a non-cape build and you've got your mushrooms ready to use, even if you have like 3 other artifacts after the mushrooms, it might be the right thing to do to not use any artifacts for one zona, because there's no way to set up the mushroom jackpot, and just, not use anything for that zona to, so that you can still, hopefully get the jackpot in the next zona. But with a cape build, you're already expecting to be able to get a lot of treasure just from the cape in every zona. So like, you don't want to hold on to other artifacts. You don't want to spend a whole zona without getting to your cape at all, unless you can hit the treasure cap in some other way in that zona anyway. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense. It's very hard to explain, but yeah. So like, you don't want to hold on to this for multiple zonas, and it very well may be the case that it appears in the artifact ordering. You get to it at a point where there's just no easy way to get an enemy frog to step over treasure. Like, manipulating an enemy to step over treasure without touching the treasure yourself that's just not always an easy thing to do. Yeah, there are other good things about this, but another reason why it's bad is just that you're losing you're getting rid of cape fodder by turning something into your friend. And I think I actually mentioned this last Jogo when I was talking about the ghost friend spell. When you make anything your friend, that's one less enemy that you can use the cape on to get treasure, because you can't get your friends to attack you. So yeah, you generally with a cape build, you want to avoid making things your friend. Like, unless the enemy upgrades come in such a like, unless you get a lot of like shrimp spawning enemies and like ghost enemies that leave ghosts behind, you're gonna be limited. Your treasure potential is going to be mostly limited by just the number of enemies, the number of enemies are around that you can use the cape on. Like, there's only 5 enemies in the room by default before the first chase frog appears, and usually it's pretty hard. Usually it's easier to farm those enemies than to farm the chase frogs. Usually you can't just repeatedly farm the chase frogs. So, you want to use the cape on all 5 of those default enemies if you can. So yeah, making things your friend, not great. I feel like I've explained that enough. Horror specs, yeah, it's not the best, but it does have an unlock. It does have an unlock upgrade, so it can net you keys, which is huge. And identifying something, it's pretty good. It's pretty good just by default. And like, especially, it becomes very valuable if you have a Dorado. If you discover a Dorado and you don't know much about what's on it, you can target this identify to learn something about your Dorado wand. But yeah, in general, the identify is still always pretty good. But then also, you can get 1 treasure out of it pretty reliably. You can get the corner treasure if you have the corner treasure upgrade on it. Yeah, there's probably other things to say about this, but we will say them when they become relevant, because we're taking it. And I think we're using it. Although maybe there's a case to be made for shooting this down right now. I don't know. Feels kind of silly. I would like to use this run as an opportunity, since we have horror specs. use this as an opportunity to try to get better at choosing which thing to identify. It's something that I definitely already think about a decent amount, but there's definitely a lot to the wand spell ordering rules that I am not aware of, and probably even more that I am intuitively kind of aware of, but that I don't really take into account for strategy, or that I don't really think ahead about. So yeah, this run, one of the goals of this run will be to try to get better at that. I find, I guess this is this is a more meta aspect of me explaining how I play the game. I find it helpful to set some explicit goals about what I'm always trying to get better at. The game is very deep, and there are so many different dimensions to the game, to the strategy. There are so many different ways to get better at the game in parallel. But I find that it helps a lot to find one area where you really feel like you can stand to improve, and focus on it for like a full run, or focus on it for a while until you feel that you've done that, feel that you've improved. So yeah, let's try to do that. I mean, right now, what do I want to what would I want to identify if I were to use this right now? I mean, there are things that would be very valuable on Wand 4, but I think I can test for all of those things in one cast. Corner bounce and wrap around the screen and wand refresh. So I have a cast here ready, so I don't know why I would use this on Wand 4. I guess one other reason why it might be good to use this right now is that just having more info sooner is generally better. The sooner I get this info, the more likely it is that I'll be able to use it before the Joe goes over. So yeah, maybe I should use this right now. So, like, do any of these spells rule out other spells after them? I don't think anything is ruled out by either of these. I don't think anything is ruled out by either of these. Is there something that can't appear before Lizard Kill? Maybe the X can't appear before Lizard Kill, because it would be weird for it to like... when thinking about spell ordering rules, since I haven't like studied, I think people know all of the spell ordering rules. I think there's a big image that I've seen before of like a big chart of like how things can appear. But because I have not studied that, which maybe it's time to do that sometime soon, but because I haven't studied that, the way that I think about it is purely intuitive. Like, what would look weird? What would look weird if it happened before a Lizard Kill? And maybe an X would look weird, to like damage the lizard but then kill it with some other thing. Or like what is a combo that I don't feel like I've seen before? Because I've played the game a lot, and I feel like I would have seen that happen at some point and just kind of recognize that combo as a potential thing that can happen. So yeah, I don't necessarily think X can be here, but mostly I care about treasure spells right now. Like my offense is perfectly fine. So like, is there a treasure spell that's ruled out here? Well, we've ruled out Dorado for everything, so that's not a concern. I guess, is there one of these that has had more treasure tests than the others? I guess this one has not been tested for treasure in any way. So this could still have pillar treasure, whereas this couldn't and this couldn't. So maybe that makes it worth doing that here. And is the pillar treasure more likely to be at the top or the bottom? I think this is kind of confusing to think about, but like, I think there are more spells that rule out other offensive spells below them than there are spells that rule out, well, the spells that rule out offensive spells. So let's say there's a gem kill up here, right? There's a gem kill in this slot. That would rule out a lot of things below it, offense-wise. So, whereas like something being down here wouldn't rule out anything up here offense-wise, right? Like if gem kill were here, it wouldn't rule out anything up here offense-wise. So I think I feel like I'm doing a poor job of explaining that, but I think it makes sense that the closer to the, it's more likely for there to be a treasure spell closer to the bottom, because it's more likely that offensive stuff has been ruled out closer to the bottom because of because of spells above it that we don't know about yet. There are also reasons, I think, why a treasure thing couldn't be close to the top. Like I'm pretty sure, I think I mentioned this last time, and someone in the Bro Games Discord cast some doubt on that, but on this. But I still think it is the case. I still think I'm right about this, even though I'm not sure. But like, let's say there's a shuffle here. Teleport to a different square. I'm pretty sure in that case there can't be a corner treasure or a pillar treasure. No, I think there could be a pillar treasure, but let's say a corner treasure. Because I think it does that in order, like for each square. Like for each square, it's going to spawn the corner treasure and then it's going to shuffle it. And that is definitely not a thing that happens. So yeah, there are ways that stuff can be ruled out at the top by other spells below it. But I think this is our best bet overall. And so I'm going to do this. Interesting. Well, that at least, if there is, if we do have a corner treasure on this wand, that is potentially going to help make that more powerful. Probably just want to punch twice right now, right? Or like maybe step up and then punch twice so that this lizard goes around this way and I can like earthquake it here or something. Also, haven't really been thinking about identifies and forgets. I mean, I didn't have much choice about how I used this first wand. I guess these first two wands, yeah. So I was going to use those there no matter what the situation was with identifies and forgets. But at this point, I should be thinking about identifies and forgets. And here, this has already been tested for forget. If it hadn't, I would be thinking that it would sure be nice to stand here and shoot this upward. But yeah, I guess if I punch twice right now, this lizard moves up to here, and then I step down to here, and this lizard's still on me. So actually, maybe it's good to go ahead and punch twice, so that way I'm here, this lizard's on me, and I can just shoot this. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it doesn't really matter where this lizard is. Or maybe I don't want to shoot through this lizard because I want to test for buried treasure. I don't know. Buried treasure on this wand is going to be less valuable than on other wands because it could be hard to get me to use my earthquake and do the buried treasure. And it might be hard to use my earthquake and get the buried treasure in the same cast. And this is something that came up in the Bro Games Discord. after I think my most recent video, uh, something that I felt like I should explain. The the more you know, the the more helpful, the more powerful a wand is based on what you already know about it, the less you should care about other stuff that could also be good on it. So, for instance, I already know that this has an earthquake on it. That makes other potential good spells on this wand less valuable. Whereas this wand doesn't really have anything great on it. This is not powerful at all based on what I already know about it. So, targeting identifies on this wand might be a good idea versus targeting them on this wand, because there are diminishing returns to having multiple strong abilities on the same wand, because most of the time you're not going to be able to use both of those strong abilities in the same cast. So you're going to have to, in a lot of cases, you're going to have to choose which of those strong abilities to use. It's better to have one strong ability on each of your 5 wands than to have 5 strong abilities on one wand. Would be the most extreme way of making that point. Anyway, I think I want to punch here, and then I'm gonna hope that this lizard isn't in my way. Yeah, because this has been shot through. This has been shot through a ghost, or it's been shot through, a ghost. So I feel like it's not that valuable to shoot it through a lizard. I would rather test for the buried treasure, even though it's not as valuable as it would usually be because we already have this earthquake on this wand. I think I want to test for that buried treasure. And I mean, in this case, like I've been saying, we've got good offense. We're not really worried about survival right now. So non-treasure stuff, offensive stuff on this wand is also less valuable than usual right now. Yeah, there's more to say about that, but whatever. Why can I not make these episodes shorter? It's just impossible. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch. The other thing I'm thinking about is just stepping up once to guarantee that this lizard goes around me the other way. I think that might actually be good though. Hang on. So step up, punch. So 1, 2, 3. That lizard's there. So then I go around this way. I do my earthquake? No, I don't even do my earthquake. This could have a wrap around the screen that might screw me. But what I'm thinking is I get down here, or I use this over here, and then go down here, and then I use both of these wands in a way that this is going to blow up this lizard when he's standing right here, while also testing this for a side hit that it hasn't been tested for, and getting all these buried treasure tests in and wand refresh tests in and whatnot. So I think I actually like that. I think I have time before the chase frog to do all that. Not going to count it. Let's just do it. Wait. Is this? Oh, yeah, this is fine. He's going around the way I want. Is there a reason I would walk one way or the other here? I don't think so. I guess if my explode wrapped around or something. Okay, now this could still have an identify on it, so I think I want to shoot it from here rather than from one step down. Could also have an explode on it though. And it can't have a forget on it, so I'm not in danger of forgetting my earthquake, and I really don't want to be exploded right now. I think I am going to step down, actually. Oh, one thing I didn't think about is that this could have a forget on it, maybe? Where was I standing when I used this? No, that cannot have a forget on it, but this can. Do I want to risk forgetting this earthquake? But it's only 2 slots. Only two Only 2 chances of a forget here. How much else has been tested on this wand? So this is a good, important thing to think about. The chances of a forget appearing here depends on how many other things have already been tested for this wand. We shot it at a ghost. Well, this rules out, even if we hadn't already tested corner bounce, that rules out corner bounce, and maybe it rules out something else that I'm not thinking as well. I feel like that rules out something else that I'm not thinking of. Ooh, another thing I didn't think about is that this could spawn a shrimp, I think. You might think the explosion rules that out, and I think maybe it used to, but it doesn't anymore. Not sure exactly. Wish I'd thought about forget before I got into this position. I mean, I could still just like grab this key and then walk back over here and dance my way past this lizard, hopefully, and shoot this down through the middle. Get myself a heal check while also killing the lizard without taking any damage, and maybe, I guess, okay, a wraparound check as well. Yeah, I feel like there's just a couple different bad things that could happen here if I'd use this the way I was thinking I would. I mean, if I was already thinking that it could wrap around the entire screen and come down here and blow me up, which would not be good. That would actually be really bad. Yeah. I don't like I don't like my plan anymore now that I thought about some things. So we are going to go ahead and get this key, I think, while waiting for this lizard to catch up to us. Then we're going to get around the lizard. Yeah, the frog's there. Well, am I going to be able to blow up the frog down here after I do this? If I step left, this is instant. Frog takes a hit as well as the lizard. Punch. I think I am going to be able to blow up the frog while testing this for heal and a hit through the wall and a double corner treasure, which would be great. That seems good. Maybe. I don't know. At this point, I really just want to do something. This is too much deliberating. Okay, that has been tested for buried treasure now. So yeah, punch 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can blow up the frog and also test for through wall and test for 2 buried treasure and test for heal. Seems good. Let's just do it. This is also testing for forget here. Feels good that I did not forget this this earthquake. Okay, now here's a question: do I want to transform this frog? Oh, wait. Something I didn't think about. When I was talking about Dorado earlier, I was thinking we had ruled out all the possible Dorados, but transform can be on the same wand as Dorado, and I always forget about it when I have that combo, but that can get you kills if I transform this frog into anything but a chicken right now. That's great. that will kill it and give us a treasure. If I transform into a chicken, though, I'm most likely taking 3 damage. And it might even be possible that I'm taking 4. Like, can the 7 explode? This cannot have an explode or a spawn shrimp, so I don't think I'm dying for this. But if I I'm considering stepping down twice and shooting this upward and potentially going down to 1 health if this turns into a chicken. I mean, if it turns into a chicken, it's also giving me treasure, which could be a potion. What else could screw me here? Oh, maybe I should dance around and shoot this up at the ceiling here rather than in this column. This is also giving me more of a chance for this corpse kill, which, I mean, if we turn into a chicken and then corpse kill it, that would be amazing. So well, I'm not shooting this wand right now, so I might as well start dancing. I don't think it matters which way I go, which way I move right now. Like, yeah, this frog is going to be 50-50 moves. Going to have 50-50 moves. Okay. Also, though, let's count. So, the shadow was there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope. 12, 13. We can definitely try at least one more time, right? 14, 15. God. We can try again, because I mean, it's gonna take this frog time to get to us. 16, 17. So in 3 turns, this frog's shadow appears. So 1, 2. I guess I'm thinking about just stepping down right now. Like, what? In 3 turns, this frog's shadow appears. So if I step up and the frog steps, well, I guess it's fine. Like, if I step up and the frog steps right, I can just go around toward the exit. Actually, though, am I getting to this exit before this other frog gets to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I would want to shoot that. So 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, this is fine. I'm doing this again. Okay. The frog has decided not to let me do my best version of my plan, but I am definitely going to do this. This has not been tested for identify, so this is a good place to identify from. And if this is a chicken, I can at least consider walking away here. Okay. Game is making me make a lot of tough choices right now. Yeah. I think I want to punch it. I mean, I know I want to punch it, but should I punch it? I mean, next room is gonna have like frogs in it, right? Next room, we're gonna be dealing with some frogs. I don't really have a way of dealing with frogs, actually. I mean, I can transform them, but I'd rather not do that. I can maybe use this somehow at the beginning to get into a better situation, but then I'm getting stuck. I really want to punch this chicken, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think the right thing to do is to keep my extra health. We will see. We will decide based on how Zona 3 goes. We will decide if I was being a baby or if I was right. Okay. I haven't been thinking about dupes, by the way, which is strange because I normally, I think, do a pretty good job thinking about dupes, but this could still have dupe on it. I guess I didn't need to think about dupe. I haven't needed to think about dupe yet because I wanted to use this one the way I wanted to use it anyway. But like now I'm starting to think, well, first of all, we forgot something here. So this could have anything on it at this point. So this could have a dupe on it now. Could also have transform on it. This also hasn't been tested for side hit or through walls hit, and both of those things would be very helpful for me right now to deal with these frogs. So yeah, strongly considering just shooting this right now. In fact, having a hard time imagining what else I would do. I'm definitely not using this from here because of this forget. Yeah, I'm shooting this. Nice. Give me a through walls as well. Okay. Okay, we didn't want that, but that's fine. Well, I think I want to test this for dupe, and I'm pretty sure it can't have... I'm pretty sure this one cannot get me stuck because look. I really don't want to use any of these other ones because this gets me stuck again. This forgets my best spell. This transforms the key. So yeah, I can't walk, so I'm using this anyway. Very, very nice. Okay. Now, before I kill this frog, let's just go ahead and think through the intrusive thought that just flashed into my head is that I was being a baby, and then I should have killed the chicken, which maybe is true. I don't know. Hard to say. This did feel like a pretty lucky arrangement, but maybe I should have known that like a bunch of these side hit things and stuff hadn't been tested yet, and it was actually very safe. Don't know. Don't know. Hard to say. But okay. So yeah, before I kill this frog, let's just think: am I gonna want to shoot this transform at it or something? How did I end up doing this? I did test this for Wand Refresh, but this has not been tested for Dorado. So maybe I do want to shoot this at this frog again, just like I did last Zona, but maybe. Maybe not when it is on me, point blank, One thing that would be nice is if I could somehow, if I can get this frog on me and then get up to here and teleport to here. Oh yeah, I was thinking I was gonna have to get this treasure chest by teleporting from up here, but I can just teleport from right here. I just want to make sure that I can shoot another wand immediately. If I'm teleporting to the left, I'm gonna get stuck, but as long as I'm shooting another wand immediately, then it's fine. But can I even guarantee that? I guess I would want to be right here or right here and have the frog here or here. Then it's gonna guaranteed step toward me and I can shoot this to the right. Would be nice to get a corner bounce test on this wand as well, and a charge attack. That's helpful if it kills the chicken, or if it turns into a chicken. Also, maybe I can get it so that maybe I can arrange things so that I get a corpse kill test, which I did not end up getting in Zona 2. What do I want to forget here, by the way? Is there a way to forget some? I don't think there's a good way to forget something before I do this other setup, so I don't think it's worth thinking about right now. Yeah. I think I'm going to want to forget something on this wand. There might be... Doesn't look like there's a good way to do that while also testing for some treasure stuff. Maybe just stand here, forget the explosion while shooting it upwards, and... Yeah, because I shot this down last time, so even this one slot that we already have, this slot has not been tested for Wand Refresh, and then this one hasn't been tested for anything, so that could still have a corner treasure. Yeah, this through walls I think makes... So as I already explained, we don't really have anything great on this wand. We have this earthquake on this wand. Got some good stuff on this wand for offense. We've got a very particular way that we usually want to use this wand, and this has a transform on it. So like this is our weakest wand right now. So we'd prefer to forget something on it. And I had something else I was trying to say. Oh yeah, this through walls makes it extra valuable to potentially replace something on this wand with a treasure, because through walls works very well with pillar treasure and with corner treasure, and this shooting it from here while forgetting this explosion instantly tests again, retests for pillar treasure or for corner treasure. So I think that's going to be really good. Now let's just try to get this frog down here like I was saying. Can this still wrap me around? No, it can't. Okay, I think this is going to be good. Good Lord! I'm getting so unlucky with these enemy moves. I'm getting crazy unlucky this whole run so far with enemy moves. Okay. Please step down, man. I hate you so much. I mean, I could teleport here and well, hang on. It doesn't actually have to be okay, yeah. If he steps down, if I step right here and he steps down, that's not a problem at all. I step right again and then shoot through him to the left. And I guess this could kill him with an axe. I don't know. But most likely he ends up exactly where I want him. And this then won't be testing for poison, but that's already been tested for poison last zona, so. And the zona before that. So yeah, I think walking right here is the move. And then I think so that he'll be a space away from me and on the corpse, I want to step left again. Okay, didn't kill him. So this is what we wanted. If this is a chicken and it doesn't die, I am gonna laugh. Okay. Please, no Dorado. Okay. Dorado would have been so amazing there with both of these spells on it. But alas. Okay, but yeah, we want to I think we know what we want to do here. Also, need to start thinking about in the next zona, need to start thinking about where the secret room could be. Is there a reason that this would screw me? Teleporting me? I don't know. Okay. Not great. Man. Pretty good offensive ones, but not doing well treasure-wise here. Also entering in a annoying corner. Yeah. Okay, well, one thing I immediately see here is that I am not the thing that I immediately see is that I'm in a very awkward situation where I am going to want to use where I feel forced to use my charge attack on this shrimp, which I really don't want to do when there's a chicken here that I could be using it on theoretically. So, but then the next thing I see is, well, I could get out of here with this teleport through walls somehow, maybe. I don't know. The options don't look great for that, but I could maybe do that. And I'm not going to be able to get this treasure with my teleport through walls trick. So we can forget about checking these walls for secret exit entrances, by the way. But yeah, we're not going to be able to teleport into this. So maybe I do want to try to use this to get out somehow. But like, if I step down right now, that's man, and I can't get to the middle square for this thing. We know this doesn't go through walls. Ooh, this is kind of gnarly. I can't get to. Man, am I running away here? I might be running away here. Like, step down, punch, teleport through. Well, I guess that poisons the chicken, and then I'll be able to punch this shrimp. Then I can like forget this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to use a spell because I'll be stuck. There is a pillar in this room that I could test this for pillar treasure on. That doesn't need to be tested for pillar treasure. This does. When did this... I'm trying to remember exactly what needs to be tested on this one because it had one slot forgotten. I think it was the top slot. So we have not yet found the ability that was in where that instant originally was on this wand. And then this was just used, like this was tested for dupe. It was tested for Dorado, transform. If something's tested for dupe, but it's always tested for transform, I think. Pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, in Zona 2, I think the instant was forgotten. Was the instant forgotten before or after I shot this? Because I shot it... Oh, wait, I shot it through the middle, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I had to use the earthquake. Okay, so this hasn't been tested for, like, anything. Like, I would maybe want to shoot this up into this corner. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way to use this on the chicken. But I guess poisoning the chicken is maybe good enough. I'm really not seeing the move here. Because, like, if I step down right now and then try to teleport, if I try to teleport right now, I'm taking damage. Probably. I guess we don't know if this has a protect on it. Or a shrimp kill, actually. But I don't want to count on those things. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's not the worst idea, actually. There are probably not that many things that could be on this wand at this point. But, I mean, there are definitely things. I mean, this could have a slingshot on it, I think. This could have a hidden double damage spell. I don't know. Those things are pretty rare, but there are other things for sure, right? Frog kill? No. Wait. Yeah, frog. No. I just shot this at a frog. I don't know. What are the other spells? This has been shot to the right? No. I guess it could have a charge attack. Could probably have a heal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to count on that. But then, like, if I step down and then try to teleport out, I am teleporting into a shrimp punch over here, or possibly into a ghost punch over here. I guess I should go ahead and move and see how these two enemies move, because that might affect something that I want to do, and I don't think I'm shooting anything right now. I guess let's just quickly rule out the possibilities of shooting anything right now. Like, maybe there's a reason I might want to shoot at the shrimp. Doesn't feel like it. I really should have done a little bit more refreshing myself on how I used these wands in the zonas after Zona 1, because there's really still a lot to test, and I keep forgetting things, and that makes it more complicated. But this one still needs... Oh no, this one was tested for corner treasure when I shot it at the lizard with a ghost behind it. And then... But this needs to be tested for refresh and buried treasure. Yeah? No, not buried treasure. I think in Zona 3, I killed all the 1 health enemies with this, and then... Right? And then it was just 2 frogs. Then oh no, this hit the frog. Yeah, this hit the first frog. I was thinking the frog stepped the other way. Okay, so yeah, the buried treasure and refresh need to be tested on this one. I don't know. That's not a huge consideration. There's only 1 slot there that it could be, so it's not even a super high chance of it being anything that I want it to be. Although it's been tested on a lot. A lot of stuff has been eliminated, so it's a decent chance of being one of those spells. Okay, but yeah, so I don't necessarily want to shoot this down right now. I mean, if I shoot a wand down right now and it's not helpful, like the shrimp just steps here, then like I want to shoot another wand, and I'm like potentially getting rid of I'm potentially losing my opportunity. I'm potentially losing my chance at just getting out of here, which is the most important thing. Is always getting out alive. And also, like, if I do have to leave this treasure here, it's not really the worst thing in the world. You know, if this were a gem in here, I would definitely be more sad. if this were a gem, and if this treasure were like on the outside somewhere where I could get it without get it before getting the key, then I would potentially be very sad about having to leave it. But here, I'm not getting a key from this room, and a book, not as valuable as a gem. So I'm not super sad if I have to leave. I don't know. I'm gonna step down and see what happens. Okay, they all moved this way. So one thing I could do is this, because this. Well, I was thinking if I do this, it's a 50-50 chance whether the shrimp follows the ghost into the corner or not. But actually, well, first of all, it's forgetting something on this one that I don't need, and that's good. It's testing for heal, which I don't think has been tested for on this wand. And of course the shrimp heal as well. Also this, I've forgotten something on this wand since I use it on an enemy, so it could have an X on it even. Yeah, so this seems pretty good, although the thing is, if the ghost becomes my friend, and then I guess it's 50-50 which of these enemies moves first. If the lizard moves first, it pushes the ghost, and the shrimp definitely punches me. But if the shrimp moves first, I think it's 50-50 of whether it punches me or pushes the ghost. If it pushes the ghost, that's amazing. I punch this rooster, and then I feel like I'm cooking. Why did I call it a rooster? I always call it a chicken. I punch this chicken, and then I'm really cooking. But yeah, I think it's only 25% chance of that. But there's also a decent chance that this just kills the shrimp outright. That I also get healed. And what's the worst that happens here? The worst thing that happens here is I have to teleport out afterwards. I immediately have to teleport out. Doesn't seem that bad. Whereas the other thing that happens here is I punch, or the other obvious play is I punch the shrimp, and then I teleport left through this rooster, and why am I calling it a rooster now? And then I punch this shrimp and just use one of my wands and get out. I guess I would probably use this one, because that's going to get me good tests from there without any risk, I think. Maybe I kind of like that. One thing that could maybe screw me here is if this stops when it hits an enemy. No. I'm not even sure if that can appear with that. Can go through walls and stop on an enemy be on the same wand? I'm not. It seems like they should. It seems like it should be possible for them to be on the same wand, but I'm not recalling an instance when that happened. But in any case, we have tested that in the very first Zona, and we didn't forget anything on this one, so I don't think it's dangerous for me to do this play that I'm thinking about, where I punch this shrimp first. Or no matter what I'm thinking about teleporting through this chicken. This is tricky. At this point, I am feeling like I am definitely feeling glad that I did not punch that chicken in the previous, or in one of the previous zonas, because this is scary. And I feel like I maybe have a slightly higher chance of getting some treasure here if because I have 2 health. I could possibly spend a health to get a treasure here. Also, I didn't say this I didn't say this when I was talking about possibly just exiting here, but the chicken being here definitely makes me a little bit more sad about leaving with without getting this treasure, you know, or leaving with all these enemies alive, just running away. Because obviously the chicken drops a treasure, but I don't know. This I'm really tempted to do this. Let's just see what it looks like if I punch first. I punch first. Teleport through here, and then the chicken goes back up to here with 1 poison tick. I punch, chicken's at 2. I step up, chicken's at 3 here. I step down, punch the chicken for 2 damage, and then I could just like punch the chicken down, but then like these enemies are kind of on me. Although I guess I could like, yeah, I could definitely take a hit punching this chicken down and get out of here alive. I have this lizard kill spell. And get all the treasure. So the question is, do I want to do that? I guess, well, I didn't think about this. Like, if I get this key, I can stand here and transform this book into something else while also getting my charge attack back for Zone of 5. I don't think it's very likely that I will have to take a damage in Zone of 5. So I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm going to go with the thing that makes me take damage, but I'm going to go with the. I could go with the possible damage, possible treasure, which is this. But I think I'm going to go with the guaranteed damage, guaranteed treasure, which is punch the shrimp first and then teleport left. I'm also thinking, like, is there a way to set up a transform on both the chicken treasure and this treasure? Like, if I could maybe get the chicken to drop its treasure here somehow. No, that's not definitely not possible. But like here, then I could transform this and the chicken treasure if that one is also something I want to transform. But that's not happening. Yeah, wait. No, I was thinking maybe there's a chance of using this, but there's a wall here, man. At some point, you've just been looking at the screen so long, you just start to go insane. Yeah, let's do the thing. So yeah, this is what I was just starting to think about for the first time, is the fact that this lizard has a pretty good chance, 50-50 chance is what it was, that he would just step left or step back down here and give me space to move with this ghost. So like, you know, I get 1 step here. I can step. I have the opportunity to step down once here if I really want to. Now, do I want to do that? I could also step up here. Okay, hang on. I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff now. Like, if I step up here and the chicken's on me, is it then safe to just teleport down? I mean, that's going to get that ghost on me. So if I step up and the ghost is on me, I'm probably just using this. Although maybe I can like step back down, and I feel like there's some interesting possibilities if I step up here. If I step down, I'm not really seeing anything that's super different from what I wanted to do. I think it's just worse because I'm not poisoning the chicken. Because this lizard's definitely stepping up, so I'm not gonna be able to step down twice. So either I step down and the ghost goes here, which who cares, I think, or I step down and the ghost goes here, which also who cares? I guess maybe then I step left into this. Ooh, this is feeling uncomfortable. But let's say I step down, the ghost steps here. Step left, the ghost comes back here, and the chicken could also appear there. This has been tested for corpse kill at this point. It hasn't been tested for, or no, it has been tested for target snipe. I don't know, man. I don't think I want to do those. There's too many bad, weird things that could happen. But I might want to step up. Let's see. What's the worst thing that could happen if I step up? The chicken coming on me is probably worse than the ghost. If the chicken's on me, I probably want to teleport down, which means I might be teleporting into a ghost that will punch me. And then I will want to do this. Is the maximum damage I'm taking by stepping up here 1 though? Because if the maximum damage is 1, then that's better than a guaranteed 1 damage by teleporting left here. Trying to imagine the very worst thing that could happen, and it's hard because I forgot things. I forgot spells on 2 of these wands, and so I'm trying to think if there could be like a surprise shrimp spawn, or a surprise explosion. This cannot have explosion for sure. This cannot have explosion for sure also, actually. Can this have explosion? I don't think it matters. I'm not going to use this from the right wall. Okay, very worst thing that can happen. Okay, I guess we'll just think through the different options. Like, I step up and the ghost is on me. I think I just want to use this. Okay, so 1, 2, shoot at this ghost. And then, actually, I think this is not great, because then chicken's here. I guess I can shoot this down to hit this lizard to this. Oh no, the lizard's there now. Well, I mean, obviously I can just shoot the lizard like that. Shoot the lizard with this. But then I wanted to use this to teleport past the chicken that's then going to be on me. Let me see. 1, 2 shooting this wand. 3 shooting this wand. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this chicken is definitely going to be on me at that point. I guess then one thing I could do is just start firing up at this chicken as it walks toward me. I'm either stepping at that point. I'm either stepping up, taking a hit from this chicken. Actually, do I even have time to walk over here and stall while this chicken takes poison damage? I don't think so. Chicken's gonna be at 1 poison here, 2, 3, 4. I punch 1, 2. Okay, I do have time. But then maybe this shrimp is gonna be on me. Oh no, the shrimp will be on good parity then, I think. I think it's safe to do this, but does it? This is like doing something that feels very risky, because it feels like I might be forgetting some remote possibility that could screw me. Whereas teleporting left here seems a little bit more. It's easier to think about, and therefore it seems a little bit more likely that I am thinking about it correctly. And yeah, but it would be more fun to step up. Okay, let's think about the bad case of chicken on me first, one more time. Let's just think about it very carefully. Chicken's on me. Ghost is here is the worst case. If ghost goes here, that's great. That would be amazing. That's like, I think that's probably best case. Although I'm not sure exactly how this. Not sure how I'm gonna want to handle. I don't know, but it feels like I have plenty of ways to handle that. To handle the chicken in that case. But do I though? No. You look. I'm pretty sure it's fine. But I should triple check it. Okay. So I'm up here, rooster's on me, ghost is here. I teleport down. Oh, the rooster could come first. I'm up here. Oh, but that's good because then, yeah. If the rooster steps here and blocks the ghost in here, then the lizard is going to be here, and I just kill the chicken immediately with that, and then I'm golden. So that is nothing to worry about for sure. It's unfortunate that this is not being checked for a wand refresh with this shot down here, but what can you do? I'm just trying to get my treasure right now. Okay, but the bad case is this chicken is here and this ghost is here. I teleport through them and take a damage. Don't think there's anything better to do in that case than take the damage. But then, so 1, 2, so this lizard is back here. Ghost. Oh, I think this is really bad because the lizard's not there to help me. Or actually, I think it's fine. Okay, 1, 2, I'm down here, and the ghost punches me, so it's still here, and the chicken moves down to here. I shoot this, or wait, this is not how I was thinking. I shoot this up at the, and by the way, the lizard is here, right? Yeah, 1, 2. Lizard here, ghost here, chicken here. I shoot this up. It could somehow kill this chicken, but let's assume the worst case, assume it doesn't. Then either, well, let's just pick the worst case again. The worst case, I think, is the lizard moves before the chicken. No, I think both cases are bad. Lizard moves before the chicken. It moves up to here, and then the chicken punches the ghost and kills it. So then I'm just like in this awkward spot where I have to fire something. Oh yeah, I'm not moving up here. I'm doing my old plan. We're out of here. I mean, maybe not actually out of here. Maybe we're making this work somehow. Maybe this is going to do a through walls hit here. Is this what I wanted to do? Actually, I guess I can use. There's options here. This is fine. We're not even taking any damage here, I don't think. Although, I thought I was going to be on parity with this chicken, so that's a little bit less than ideal. But I don't know. I think I want to do this no matter what. I guess also the chicken's going to move right here. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't. I thought through this plan a lot less. I spent a lot less time thinking through this plan than I did thinking through the other plans because this one I knew was safe. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's just see where this goes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so this ghost. I mean, I think I want to get out of here to get down to this key. Man, what if this somehow lets the chicken get down to here and drop its treasure in line with this? I don't think so. No, it's not possible. It's not even possible for me to walk past it then without picking it up. Okay. I am pretty sure I'm stepping up here no matter what, so. Okay. I hate that I have to do all this walking and stalling because there's going to be a frog on me. I guess I'm going to be on bad parity with this. Or no, I'm going to be on good parity with the lizard. Well, let me explain what I meant. I'm going to be adjacent to the lizard. I'm not going to be we're not going to be spaced out. The lizard and I are not going to be spaced out, so I'm not going to get to just use this to do a damage to it and then punch it and save this for the frog, the chase frog. I'm definitely getting worried about the chase frog at this point. I could shoot this right now. Well, one interesting play might be to step right and then step left. And then maybe, oh no, the chicken will just be there and the lizard will be there. I was thinking I might be able to shoot at the chicken, shoot this through the chicken and maybe discover something good while also hitting this lizard to the side, but it's not really happening. I don't know. I think I'm stepping right no matter what. I'm not seeing why I would want to do anything else right now. If I do this right now, I'm on bad parity with the chicken, so yeah. So I could just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then punch, and then am I going to end up using this on the frog? I guess I haven't moved around that much. It feels like since I'm all the way over here, I'm so far from the entrance, I must have moved a lot and wasted a bunch of turns, but I moved once and then I teleported. So how many turns has it been? 1, I punched a shrimp. I'm counting on my fingers right now. I teleported. I punched another shrimp. I shot my other shot, and then I walked twice. Is that it? So it's been 7 turns. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for a punch. I guess 2 more punches. Or no, let's say shot. Since we're assuming we have enough time for the chase frog. Or to avoid fighting the chase frog. 12 for a punch. 13 for this shot, which also tests for a wander fresh, which I think we wanted to do. What was that? 13? 12? I don't remember. But let's say this was 13. Then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think we're fine. I think we have time. I didn't think about the fact that this lizard was almost definitely going to space out from this chicken, but then somehow it didn't. One thing I'm wondering right now is, is it possible that the random number generator on the PC version is different from the one on the iOS version in a way that really matters in some maybe subtle ways that are hard to pick up on? I don't know. I don't know if that is a realistic thing or not. I don't know enough about random number generators to know the answer to that question. But anyway, somehow this lizard repeatedly moved after this chicken and got into the exact spot that we wanted him to, so I'm not going to have to stall here. Wait. Oh, no. I was thinking because we were punching him down. I was thinking because we were doing the punch on that chicken, you know, usually when you're punching an enemy and it's going to die, that means that another enemy will be able to step into its spot. But because the poison tick actually happens after the enemy's move, or maybe it happens during that chicken's turn, and so the order did matter, either the poison tick happens after all the enemies move, so this lizard was guaranteed to move right here, or the poison tick happens on the chicken's turn. That seems kind of likely to me because the poison kind of takes the chicken's move. The final poison tick that does damage, it kind of overrides the chicken's move. So it kind of seems likely to me, just on some intuitive level, that that it would happen on the chicken's turn. So maybe if the chicken had moved, quote unquote, moved first, then maybe the lizard, it would have died first and the lizard would have stepped here. Not sure, but don't think I want to transform this. I think I'm happy to get this potion, and I do think I have time still, so also probably going to end up using this this charge attack to kill this frog. We will see. Yeah, pretty much what I thought about when the frog was going to show up. Now, should I wait? Because if I step, I want to be able to go straight up from here to here. If I step left here, the frog has equal distance paths two different ways. And if it steps this way, that's kind of annoying to me. Because I don't really then have a good way to like get on the other side of this and shoot this to the right. But if I step right here, then when I get this key, yeah, if I step right and then left and then left and then right, then this frog is on me. And I definitely don't want that. Although this has a pretty high chance of having protect on at this point, just because there's so much undiscovered on it. And we're so late in the Jogo. I'm not going to think through everything that's been tested on this at this point, but it does seem pretty likely to have a protect. Maybe I should step right here. I could also fire this wand. That would guarantee that the frog would go the way I want. But I think I really want to test this wand in the top right corner. Yeah. So what's the worst thing that can happen if I step left? This frog starts going this way. I step right. The frog is here. So I start walking around this way, right? And then I just end up in the same position I was going to be in anyway, except maybe the frog gets transformed. Oh, wait, this is actually fine. And I think I don't have that much time before I won't have that much time after all that dancing before the next chase frog, but like, wait, actually, does this make sense? Hang on, the frog is 2 spaces away from me, right? So like, I'm here. Oh, so if the frog goes this way, when I'm here, the frog's going to be here. But when I step left here, if it goes up, it screws my plan. I mean, it doesn't screw my plan. It just, oh, he is then going to be off parity with me in a kind of awkward way. I don't know. Let's figure it out as we go. Okay, he did go the annoying way, or at least the more complicated way. So what is how many turns is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, I think I want to go ahead and test this in the top corner as I'm passing by over here. If it could this have buried treasure? No, it can't have buried treasure, I'm pretty sure. But if it has corner treasure, it's I might not be able to get it. I really want to transform this book, though. I feel like that should be the top priority. But like, okay, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So best case scenario, I'm here and he's here. 16, I shoot this. 17, I punch him. 18, 19, 20, there's a frog here. I mean, I guess I can then shoot this up at that frog, and that's not the end of the world. Or wait, that was the number of turns until the frog's shadow appears. But still, I can step down once and then do what I said and then walk around this way. Don't know. Don't know what to do. Gonna just do this. Please step left. He did not step left. Well, I think I mean, he could still step down, and that would be great. So let's, I guess, go ahead and test that. Wonderful. The enemy move, the enemy movement is really killing me right now. I I almost can't believe how bad it's been these last two Jogos. Um. Okay, so if I do this and then I walk all the way around this way, and then shoot this up, then I can like punch this frog and get out still. I think that's what I want to do. Although I'm not going to be passing through the middle that way, am I? I don't know. I might take a damage. It's fine. That's cool. That's also very cool. Also, we've got to remember this that transform and buried treasure can be on the same wand, because I remember I was very unsure about which other treasure things could appear with transform. I mean, I know wand refresh can, I know dupe can, and I know Dorado can, but for some reason it felt to me as if these other ones, the spawning treasure ones, couldn't. Maybe wasn't sure. I think I'm gonna be firing up at another frog here, and then I'm gonna have to like dance around with it. But yeah, I'm probably taking a damage here, huh? But getting good tests. I don't think this could screw me. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, learned about a protect. That's good. Yeah, let's finish this up. This has been very long. Okay, do we need to think about the secret room? By the way, this would probably be a good time to explain my secret room's conspiracy theory, which is that I feel like this is a strange enemy arrangement, by the way. I really feel like secret rooms are more likely to appear later in the Jogo. But I don't think there's like some other weird rule about that. Like I don't think, for instance, in fact, I'm certain that there's not a rule like the secret room will always appear after you get your fifth key if you haven't seen it already in this Jogo. That I'm certain that I've tested that, and that is not the case. There might be some other weird rule about that, but I kind of feel like if if this is real at all, maybe it's just like a uniformly higher, just like a straight up like higher chance of it appearing in all the later zonas. Like the later you get into a run, the more likely it is that the secret room comes after that. But it might just, I don't know. I'm doubting myself even as I say it, because like it would be easy to convince yourself that there is a rule like that, because you're going, just because of the way the game works, you're often going to get your fifth key toward the end of a Jogo, and then like find it immediately. I don't know how much what I'm saying makes sense actually. I don't know. But I've always wondered if there is for some reason a higher chance of the secret room being later in the Jogo. Like it, so for instance, like maybe it has a much higher chance of being in Zona 5 than after Zona 1. But yeah, that might, what I was trying to say is that might be just a natural result of how the mechanics that I already understand work. There might not be any new rule that's making that happen. It might just be that because of how all the mechanics work, there's, for some various reasons, it's more likely that you're going to find a secret room later in the Jogo. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna have to check the top and bottom here, because we are definitely getting our fifth key. These corners are going to be the hardest to check, although got a way of killing a frog. What has this not been tested for? This has not been tested. I think this needs to be tested for corner treasures. No. This was tested for corner treasure, but was something forgotten on it? Yeah. Okay. I just forgot something on it. So since the forget happened on this wand, the only thing that this has really been tested for is like, or treasure things that's been tested for, like Dorado and wand refresh, and I guess transform would have happened, and dupe would have happened. Interesting. Those would have been interesting things to see. This is something that's so good about this game, by the way, is that all of the interesting things that could be relevant are always relevant. Does that make sense? Like, you have to master this game, you have to get so deep into understanding the possibilities of what might happen that all those possibilities actually end up being relevant to your thought process all the time. So it doesn't matter what's here. I'm thinking about all the things that could be there, and I'm seeing all those interesting things in my head, even though I'm not seeing them on the screen. And just what a good game, man. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking about. Well, I was thinking about how can we get these chickens aligned with this treasure, but I'm actually teleporting into that treasure, so I'm picking up this book, unfortunately, although I'd rather transform it. And I'm thinking I want the chickens to be lined up, like, for instance, if they were to both step down, or if I step down right now and they both step down, which I'm pretty sure is very likely. Pretty likely, at least. It could be that this chicken goes down and then this one's shortest path to me is this way. I think that's true. I'm not sure. It seems like it. But yeah, anyway, it's likely that they both step down, and that would be nice because then they are both in a row, not just in a row, or not just like a line so that I can transform both at the same time, but horizontally, where I can transform them both and hit the right wall and have space for a buried treasure to spawn. So if they were to die right here, both those chickens, that would be amazing. And I think this has a pretty good chance of making that happen. So I think maybe I should go for that. I could also, although maybe this is better. I step down. I think I want to step down no matter what, so I should probably go ahead and do that. What else would I want to do other than step down right now? I'm not seeing anything. Okay. So what I might want to do instead is do this, so that this second chicken guaranteed gets killed here, and this could still kill a chicken. Although then I'm maybe not getting as good. Maybe I'm missing out on the possibility of like the corner treasure on this wand that I was thinking about testing for, something like that. But that chicken guaranteed dies there, and then maybe this kills this chicken on me on the next turn, and then I don't know, that starts to look kind of scary. Like, I was thinking I was at 3 health actually, but I'm only at 2. Yeah, that's starting to look kind of scary in terms of like I'm wanting to do this and get down to 1 health. I just forgot something on this, didn't I? No, I didn't. I think I know everything about this wand that I think I know. But yeah, this feels good, and then also like after I do this shot, I can. Yeah, this is like maybe giving up the possibility of getting these 2 chickens aligned. Like this is a lower, shooting this right now instead of this gives me a lower chance of it. It decreases the chance that I end up with this great shot that I was talking about with this wand, but it definitely increases the chances that I survive, right? And also, like, I shoot this and then I don't mind forgetting here, right? Like, then I don't mind using my protect spell on this spot because I've already used this wand. I guess, I don't know. If I kill the second chicken here, right, and then I do this, Then I've taken my damage. I'm shooting this. I haven't forgotten something here, have I? Or did I? I did forget that explode there, but it can't be an explode. Could it be a spawn shrimp? It can't be a spawn shrimp. This is kind of scary. But I could like shoot this point blank at this chicken, get it down to 2 health, and then just go down here, teleport, or I don't know, walk it around somehow, and then like teleport into here while poisoning this chicken, and then like wait for it to die. And maybe I could still make it die in a good spot. I don't know. But this starts to feel like a lot of walking around without although I'm getting this charge attack. I'm getting this charge attack to kill the chase frog, which gives me more time to and I don't mind using the charge attack even if I'm at 1 health. Jogo's over. my health, my charge attack. You can't take it with you. You can't take him with you. So I don't mind using that to give me more time to check. Well, hang on. I guess I do mind using my health and charge attack to give me more time to check for secret room, because if there is a secret room, I would like to have I would like to have health and a charge attack for it. I am pretty well equipped to deal with the secret room. Although not if I forget this. If I forget this, I'm significantly less well equipped to deal with the secret room. We're looking at another 3-hour video, aren't we? If there's another secret room here, Zona 5 again, after it was Zona 5 in the previous Jogo as well, then y'all better start taking my conspiracy theory seriously. Yeah. I think I want to do the safe thing and go ahead and do this. There's a pretty decent chance that it just handles those chickens. And then like if it does handle the chickens, like I'm getting stuck here, right? And I'm not super thrilled about using any of my other wands immediately, but like all the enemies will be dead if it kills the 2 chickens. Then all the enemies will be dead, and I won't mind using this to get unstuck. Maybe. Well, either I want to transform these 2 things or I don't. I guess it's complicated if like there's one thing I want to transform and one thing that I don't, which is actually pretty likely. I guess it's pretty likely that I'm getting health that I'm getting a potion from one of these 2 lads. So maybe I am going back to my plan here about using this first. Let's see. I use this. I do this. I mean, it's pretty likely that this chicken is dead from one of these 2 things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing this. Interesting. Certainly not what I expected. Well, actually, what I can do here, since only the ghost is left and he's on good parity, I can also I don't want to transform that for sure. I can just deal with this. Okay, I think I want to forget at this point, maybe. Do I want a ghost friend, or do I want to shoot at the chicken and maybe get a chance at Dorado? I think the latter. So yeah, I think what I want to do is just walk around here. The ghost will be like on me I don't know. By the time I get here, the ghost is probably on top of me, and I can shoot. Maybe I can find a way to shoot down into to forget. I can find a way to forget and shoot at this chicken, which will be here, and shoot into this nook. Hopefully not get teleported into the nook, but if I do, I don't think it's the end of the world. Um, and that will test for a lot of treasure related stuff while also protecting me, killing this ghost, maybe killing the chicken. I don't know. Feels pretty good. Um, and saving this. I guess if I teleport in here, my backup plan is I just teleport back out immediately and don't get the key, which sucks, but pretty unlikely that this turns into teleport, right? Surely it won't be teleport. Not seeing anything else. I mean, I'm not going to want to transform. I guess maybe one slightly positive thing about if I get teleported in here is like maybe then I end up getting the chicken treasure aligned with this treasure anyway, and then I can get the opportunity to maybe transform both. Although no, because I want this to give me the buried treasure. So I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to transform this book. Just trying to think if there's something else that's a little bit better. Feels pretty good though. And this is a very long video, so maybe I should get on with it. This feels anytime I'm forgetting something while casting it, I'm forgetting something on the wand that I'm casting, like that just always feels like it could blow up in my face somehow. But I think this is safe. Okay. Lame, but okay. Now I think I just want to teleport through this chicken and into this treasure while also poisoning the chicken. And then I'm going to try to make it so that it can drop its treasure like here or something. Okay, let's make the parity right by doing this. Just for some reason second guessing myself a lot right now. Oh hey, that did have a shrimp kill. Or wait, no, that's not the one I was thinking about shooting at the shrimp. At least not first. Okay. Let's keep it on parity with me. And I think I'm going to want to transform this frog, maybe? What else does this need to be tested on? Okay. The spell that was forgotten has now been identified as the one that was forgotten and replaced has now been identified as this one. So this one, every test that we've done, the entire Jogo has been relevant for helping us find this. So what could this still be? What has this not been tested on at all? It's been tested for, it hasn't been tested for buried treasure, I guess. Right? Zona 4 was the tricky one that where I shot upward at the frog, right? Yeah. Didn't shoot it I shot it at enemies in, oh no, I shot this at no enemies in Zona 2, I'm pretty sure. So that has been tested for buried treasure. It was tested for pillar treasure in Zona 1. It's been tested for Wanderfresh. It's been tested for corner treasure. It's been tested for Dorado. It's been tested for dupe. Yes, it's been tested for dupe. Transform. So I think this just doesn't have treasure on it. So I don't care that much about how I use that. So I think I am going to kill the chicken here, so that I can transform its treasure while also getting another one over here. And maybe I'll just shoot this at the frog. Don't know. Depends on the frog's parity, which I'm not going to think about. Don't want to transform that. Yeah. This is very, my bad enemy movement luck has been offset a little bit by very good, again, pretty good, by very good treasure spawn luck. Okay. Now, since we know the frog is coming out any turn now, it's good to fix the parity with it here. So getting a good opportunity to show that right now. If I were to step left again right now, I would be off parity with this frog. But the way that this shadow from the entrance deal works is that, as far as I can tell, it's effectively like a corner like this. Like it's effectively like this off screen. I'm moving my mouse off of the recording area and onto my desktop background, which you can't see. But yeah, it's effectively like there's a corner here. So like if I were to step down, or if an enemy were to step onto this spot, it would block this frog. This frog is effectively in the room right now. Like it could move before another enemy, or it could move after it, just like normal, just like how it would be if there were a corner right here off of the 5x5 grid. Anyway, what that means is I can step down, get it on parity with me, use my charge attack, easy peasy. Okay, guess I don't really know what's optimal here, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this because it feels to me like I want to check this one before another frog gets on me. Okay. Don't think there's anything else that could be on this wand that I would be wasting by leaving right now, but let's see if that was wrong. Oh, that was right. Okay. We had a buried treasure here the whole time? Really? Yeah, I guess things got tight at the end, and I was always wanting to use this wand for survival. So I don't think that was a misplay of me not finding that, but I do think it was there the whole time. Pretty sure I didn't forget something in that spot. But yeah, another not too strong Jogo. But I don't know. The artifact pace, 23 Pontos is definitely below average, but the artifact pace is kind of okay. It's we got a Harspex here, and we're most of the way to our next artifact, and we're prepared to find the secret room at the beginning of the next Jogo, hopefully. So I don't know. I think I played it well at the very least. I just don't think it was very lucky Jogo, but I don't know. Maybe I played it terribly. Let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching.